class, this is homework help with page 146 and 147 in your instruction book. So here we go. To start, it says, which statement about the system of equations is true? To do this, I'm probably going to want to solve for y and make sure they look like I can see my slope and y-intercept. So here I go. So half of 8 is 4x, and half of 4 would be 2. Solving for y here, I would add 4x to both sides, and then I'd end up with y equals 4x plus 2 as well. Seeing that they're exactly the same, that would have infinitely many solutions. Okay, as I go through these next ones, I'm going to look for ones that have y first, all solved. So on this one, it's solved for y, and I see that their slopes are the same. That means they're parallel, and they have no solution there. Okay. Looks like the rest of them I'm going to have to do a little bit of work solving for y. So on this one, I would go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and solve for y, and then I'll erase it here. So I'm going to solve off to the side actually. So I'll go 3x plus 4y equals 5. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides and get 4y equals 5 minus 3x. At the end, I'm going to go ahead and divide by 4. And then I have 5/4 minus 3/4 x. On this one, I'm going to solve for y as well. I'm going to go up here to solve this one for y. So I have 3x minus 4y equals 1. Again, I'm going to subtract my 3x. Oops, from the y there. And then at the end, I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. So I'd have y equals, negative 1/4 minus, a negative divided by negative would actually be a positive 3/4 x. So I'm looking at this equation and this equation. And I see that the slopes are not the same and the y-intercepts are not the same. They have one solution there. Okay, moving on. I'm going to solve these ones right over here so I don't run out of room. So I have x minus 3y equals 7. I'm going to go ahead and subtract x from each side. And then at the end, I'm going to go ahead and divide by negative 3. And I get y equals negative 7/3. A negative divided by a negative here is positive 1/3 x. Okay. And then on this one, I'm going to continue solving. I'm going to solve for y here and subtract 2x from each side. I get negative 6y equals 4 minus 2x, and divide by negative 6. I'm going to do some simplifying here, so I get 14 over 6, and if I divide both of them by 2, I get negative 7 over 3. And again, I'll do some simplifying. Negative 2 over negative 6 simplifies to 1/3, and I see that there's infinitely many because they are exactly the same thing here. Okay, last one, a little bit of work here solving for y. So minus 6x. And then at the end, I'm going to divide everything by negative 1 because there's really a negative 1 there. So 4 divided by negative 1 and a negative 6 divided by negative 1. Okay, those are going to have one solution. Okay, the slopes are different. So now I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. And here we are matching your equation with the graph they've given you. So on this one, let's start with graph A. It looks like it starts at negative 9, so it could be either one of these. And then if I look at my slope, I go up 3 and over 1, so it has to be this one right here. So that would match. On the next one, so graph B, it looks like it crosses the y-intercept at 5. Okay, so it could be either one of these three. And then my slope goes down 1 and over 2. So down 1 over 2 would match right here. So I'm looking again at my y-intercept and my slope to match those. Alright, so on the last two equations, or excuse me, the last two problems, on this one it's asking for you to write a system of equations that go through the point -2, 1. So right there. And it's saying graph two lines that could be in this system of equations, and we want to label them A and B. So basically, there's a lot of different answers that would work here. And then we'll talk about what's true about both of these lines. So I'm going to just kind of create a couple graphs here. So let's say maybe that's one of them. And then I'll grab another color for the other one. And let's say maybe, like this will be another one. So as long as they go through that point, that's their point of intersection, that's their solution. And then what I'd want to do is label them A and B. So let's label this one A and this one B. And what's true about the graph of both the lines, that their solution is -2, 1. It works for both those equations. Now we're going to write the equations and then talk about how we could check them algebraically. So on my line A, my y-intercept's at 2, and my slope is up 1 over 2 each time. If I were to draw that straight, you'd see that. So up 1 over 2 is my slope. And then on my line B, so it crosses at -1, and it goes down 1 over 1 each time. And let's see, crosses at -1. You can have any equations you want here. To solve them algebraically, or to check, I could go plug in the x and see that that y comes out here. Okay? So, and then I'd plug it into the next equation and it would work as well. Alright guys, hopefully this helps.